So you might notice that during this pandemic, if you're spending a little bit more time at home, or if you're working from home, or social distancing, you might find that you're doing a little bit more of the mindless boredom or stress or emotional snacking or eating. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. There's a lot going on in the world right now. We're kind of in uncharted territory. So we're all sort of learning to adjust to a different routine and a different way of doing things. And as humans, we eat for a variety of reasons, and comfort is being one of those. So it does make sense if you find that you're doing a lot of stress or emotional eating due to that, or just doing the mindless boredom eating just because you might find a little bit more time on your hands. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. I think it's something that we all do as human beings. However, it's not the healthiest habit to get into because it can kind of cover up other things that our body might be asking for or it needs. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some tips for noticing when you're doing it, and sort of looking at it from a lens of curiosity and sort of addressing if there's something else that your body needs other than food. So the first thing that I want to stress is a lot of people sometimes put a label on snacking, and they automatically label it as emotional or stress eating. But I do want to emphasize that you check your nutrition first. If you find that you're doing a lot of snacking, maybe late at night or during the day if you're working from home, check your nutrition first, because if you're doing a lot of snacking, that might mean that your body's kind of overcompensating for not getting enough nutrition during the day. So check to make sure that your meals are containing carbohydrate, protein, and colors from different fruits and vegetables. Check to make sure that you're drinking enough water, at least 8 cups a day. Assess to see if you're eating at least every 3 to 4 hours, or if you're going long gaps of time where you're not eating. That could be, the snacking later in the day could be your body just kind of making up for just not getting enough during the day. So if you find that you're not having well-balanced meals that are at least 3 to 4 hours apart, then that's something that you should address rather than trying to cut down on the snacking, because that could just be your body's physical way of trying to make up for that. So another tip that you can do to kind of address whether you're, physical versus emotional eating is doing this 3-step practice. So the first question that you ask yourself is, how do I feel mentally, emotionally? And you take note of that. You could be stressed, you could be anxious, you could be bored, you could be celebratory, sad, lonely. Just make note of that. The next question you ask yourself is, how do you feel physically? Are you tired? Are you thirsty? Are you hungry? And then you assess your hunger. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is you're extremely full, not hungry at all, 5 is neutral, 10 is you're starving, your stomach feels empty, it's growling. So you assess that. The third question is, will eating, if say you feel like snacking, will eating this food satisfy me? Yes or no? So the purpose of this practice is to assess, you note any emotions that you're feeling that might cause snacking. You're assessing your physical hunger. So if you're somewhere between a 1 and a 5, full to neutral, you know that your body physically isn't asking for any food. If you're somewhere between like a 6 and a 10, where you're feeling physical hunger, then you know that your body is physically asking for food, and you should feed it. If you find that when you note how you feel mentally and emotionally, if you find that you're bored, this is where food might not solve that, and probably won't. So having a list of non-food related activities is a really good idea. A list of activities that really excite you, like a puzzle, or reading a book, or knitting, or going for a walk. If you find that you're stressed or emotional, or feeling anxiety, have a list of relaxing things that work for you, whether it's calling a friend, or journaling, or doing yoga, going for a walk, to kind of counteract or kind of help resolve those feelings. If you find that you're not physically hungry, but you're craving the food, and you know that eating it will satisfy you, then I say go ahead and have it. Portion it out, so don't eat it out of the bag or out of the box. Portion it out, eat it mindfully, enjoy it, and move on. So that's my 3-question sort of practice that you can use to assess emotional versus physical hunger. Now we're going to talk sort of about maintaining a mealtime schedule, which, if you find all of a sudden that you're working from home, or you have, your kids at home with you, or you just have more time on your hands than usual, you might find that your meals are kind of all blending into one. That might be where you find that you're doing a lot of snacking. So maintaining a mealtime schedule and a little bit of structure around your meals is a good idea to make sure that you're getting enough food during the day, as well as kind of sticking to your nutrition goals or your wellness goals, whatever they may be. So the same thing goes for sleep. I want to mention too, making sure that you're going to bed and waking up at around the same time. Sleep is really important in maintaining your hunger and satiety levels, as well as just general mental health. So with your meals, it might be helpful to kind of have sort of like a time management worksheet where you kind of note when you, or kind of plan out when you're going to have your meals and snacks for the day, and try to stick to that. You don't have to stick to it to a T, but kind of writing it out can help you sort of stick to that schedule. Same goes for meal planning and meal prepping. If you're planning out a menu of your meals and your snacks, this is going to kind of reduce that moment when you open up your fridge, you don't have anything to eat, and you end up eating something a little less nutritious, or you order food out or get takeout or something like that. If you're on the go, plan to bring some snacks with you. Like I mentioned earlier, don't go more than 4 hours without eating. Your body needs to have some nourishment throughout the day. So if you plan on going out for the day, make sure that you're packing something, or if you're running out and you realize that you have a snack scheduled when you're going to be out, bring something with you. Bring a carbohydrate food with a protein food. So that's a carbohydrate with a protein is going to help fill you up. So that could be like some carrot sticks with hummus, or some crackers with cheese, or an apple with peanut butter. And that's going to kind of help to make sure that you're sticking to a schedule, you're not going too long without eating, and you're making sure you're getting enough nutrition throughout the day. So that's my topic in terms of some pantry foods to keep at home, to reduce your trips to the grocery store, and to make sure that you're getting enough, to show you that you can get all the vitamins and minerals, fiber, protein, carbohydrates that you need, as well as assessing if you're doing any mindless eating and how to sort of tackle that, and then how to maintain a mealtime schedule at home. Thank you.